Outside the Big Pond, a story by Paul McCann. On the top of Beacon Mountain, black smoke had been billowing for a week from the mouth of Blue Cap's volcano. Now and then, small fireballs shot out from the volcano. People had started to evacuate their homes with the recent activity, and the situation was being monitored closely. Blue Cap's dam was one of the major concerns because it held the town's water supply. And another worry people had was the safety of all the creatures in the pond and the forest. Diddle Doddle Valley cradled Blue Cap's pond at the foot of Beacon Mountain, and the pond was surrounded by golden oak forest. There was a little duck that lived all alone in the pond, through the pond watching for any sign of an eruption from the volcano. It was worried, but there was nothing else the little duck could do except worry about the volcano. The duck swam in circles all day. It swam from one side of the pond to the other. It dived under the water for food. It kept one eye open for a fish and the other eye open for any sign of an eruption. Finally the duck thought to itself, quack, quack, worry, worry, quack, quack, how boring it is. What a depressing life I have. How sad the little duck was. It was no other ducks to keep company, and one day the duck thought, well, that's it. I've had enough of this. From now on, there will be some changes round here. The duck jumped out of the pond and waddled off slowly towards the golden oak forest. Night fell in the thick forest, and the duck rested itself on a large rock beside a tall tree. The duck was so tired that it fell fast asleep. In a sound sleep, the duck dreamt about finding friends and being happy. The poor duck never heard or seen the hungry wolf creeping over to his side with hungry eyes and shiny fangs that were seriously fixed upon the little duck. Just before the wolf pounced, the ground started to shake and crumble. There were some things that began to tumble from the sky. The earth was spitting fire, and somehow not one of the projectiles hit the duck. The wolf was hit by a hot rock spewing black smoke, who ran away with its tail between his legs. Trees in the forest began to fall and were swept away by lava flow that was slowly making its way down from Blue Cap's volcano. The ground around the little duck was being opened up. Forest creatures were rapidly running away for safety on the pond, of course. Not aware of what was happening or going on, the little duck slept soundly. Now the volcano had erupted and a river of lava was flowing fast and freely down the mountainside, destroying everything in its path. Spitting sulphur and sizzling with smoke and sparks, the bubbling lava had a mind of its own, going wherever it pleased. Nothing could stand in its way. Huge fireballs hailed down from the volcano. Some just missed the little duck that never batted an eyelid. In the middle of the eruption, a change came with a strange thunder and a lightning in the sky. There was a flashing and a crashing all around when a tornado twisted up a horizon, and eerie columns of white fury made their way to Diddle Doddle Valley. Swirling and twirling, the storm came and went. Still, the little duck slept as comets and shooting stars cut through the sky overhead. The lava flow was drawing closer to where the little duck was asleep. Further up the mountain, the dam had burst and was rushing a wall of water through the forest, sweeping everything in its path. A 10-foot tidal wave washed through the forest, and within a short period, the entire forest was under water. Still, the little duck slept. Just as the first rays of sunlight hit the water, a small motorboat made its way across the new watery landscape. Lo and behold, two gentle hands reached out from the boat and picked up the little duck, who suddenly awoke. "Oh, Daddy, look, a little ducky. Can I keep him, please, Daddy? Can I?" The little duck wriggled and quacked, and the little boy held on tightly. "Okay, son. Put him in the basket until we get home," his dad replied. The motorboat sped through the water and finally came to a stop, where it was moored to a post at the end of a small jetty on a small island that overlooked the mountain and the forest. The boy grabbed the basket from the boat and ran straight into a small cottage on the island. He pulled the duck from the basket and he held it up. "Look, Mummy!" the boy screamed. "Oh, how wonderful, son," his mum answered. "Dad said I could keep it," the boy said. "Okay, son, then you better put it with all the others," his mum said. The boy raced out the back door and placed the duck into the man-made pond that seemed to stretch for miles. Oh, what a surprise! The pond had many kinds of ducks and waterfowl, and right away the little duck was greeted by some of the tame ducks that swam over. For the first time the little duck quacked in harmony. There were geese and pelicans and even some flamingos. There were fish and frogs and even a little duck who thought it was a swan. The lonely little duck was now a happy little duck and at peace. It quacked like it had never quacked before. Everyone got along very well in the big pond, and the little duck thought to itself, "Somehow, I don't know how, but my dream has come true." After a little while, the duck had some other little duckies of its own, and they all loved to listen to the stories and the mysteries of life outside the big pond. The end.